Well, welcome everybody to another exciting episode of Mick and the Fat Man Series 6, episode number 13, lucky 13. Mick, happy rock and roll to you, sir, and how are you travelling?
Mate, I am travelling fantastic and I'm very energised after our last episode, talking about all those 1976 albums.
You were so energetic in actually putting that whole show together that you made too much. You got too much show. So we have decided, we went off and had a very, very long meeting. Mick took minutes. There was a couple of...
Took hours, mate. Took hours.
And then had a subcommittee, put it out to a subcommittee. They've reported back and suggested that we just continue on. And so we are going to continue on. Obviously, that subcommittee reported up to the main committee. The committee accepted the recommendations. On a simple show of hands, it was agreed that we would continue on and do Part B. Now, there was some contention about whether to call it Part B or Part 2. I think Mick won. I think it's going to be Part 2, isn't it?
I think so, yes. Cause
yeah.
It's tough being the dissenting voice.
Yeah, I said Part B, but the committee said no, that's not the go, so it's going to be Part 2. So, Mick, I'm not going to go through all the normal hullabaloo. I'm just going to say, mate, we are doing the 50th anniversary of great albums from 1976, obviously, and we've gone through an absolute cracking bunch of albums, finishing with none other than the Saints' Stranded, or I'm Stranded, a fucking ripper of an album. Some would say, in fact, the birth of punk music from this Brisbane band. But we are moving on now, and next on the list, mate, out pops nothing that could be so far removed from I'm Stranded than Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life.
Yeah, look... I think, as we were talking before we started recording this episode, I've never been a big Stevie Wonder fan, and it's very difficult to see the attraction.
Well, it's very difficult to see much at all, isn't it? You know, there's a lot of dark glasses happening and stuff, and
yeah.
He's very I think he's a popular American artist. I know he's popular, but you know, the whole Grammy thing, he always wins Grammys and all that stuff, sings at the Grammys and has a great voice. But for me, the songs aren't overly exciting, and they're sort of a bit pastiche and sort of not really interesting. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I think that's nice that you've taken that thesaurus to heart, Jeffrey, and you can use a word like pastiche. Well done.
Because last time I had semen, wasn't it?
That you may well have had, but it was seminal.
Oh, seminal! Damn, seminal fluid. That's what I had. Not semen. Anyway, yeah, right. Yeah, okay. Oh, mate, you've. In keeping with the punk ethos, Nick's vomited on himself.
You got me.
Come back to us, mate. Come back. Oh, he's dying. He's swallowed. He's coughed up a lung.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. He's made a mess of himself again.
All over the place.
Just once you mention seminal fluid, he makes a mess of himself.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate that.
Not a problem.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Anyway,
Stevie Wonder.
Massive album.
Listen to this for a quote, and you can work out whether I wrote it or not. A joyous, monumental double album masterpiece that marked the creative apex of soul, jazz, and R&B music in the 1970s.
I think that's a lie. I think that's a lie.
You think so?
I don't think this is the fucking pinnacle of R&B. But anyway, maybe it is.
Yeah.
Maybe it is.
Stevie Wonder's one of those people who is immensely talented, but for my money, not very interesting.
I think that's it.
Yeah. I don't like to criticise someone who is that talented, but it doesn't do it for me. It doesn't do it at all.
It's one of my favourite background music albums.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
That's what you sort of...
Grammy-winning background.
Grammy-winning. Anyway.
Speaking of the Grammys, for the 1977 Grammys, which was talking about this particular album, which was nominated for it, Stevie Wonder was in Africa, and to his credit, he did a lot of work in Africa with charities, with kids, and all that sort of thing. And they did a live cross from the Grammys to Stevie Wonder, and it was a really crappy connection. And so Andy Williams was doing the hosting at this end, and he says, "Stevie, can you see us?" Yeah, bit of a fraught question.
And could Stevie see him on the other side of the world?
Apparently not. No, it was a really bad connection.
And being in Africa, they didn't dress him up in funny clothes, did they? Say, Stevie, just put this as traditional, and like he's wearing a yak's heart on his head or something. Not a yak, like a wildebeest on his head or some bloody weird shit, and drinking bloody yak's blood or something like that. Don't know why I keep going about yaks, but.
Yeah, you got this yak fixation, Jeffrey. Look, the use of the term R&B is fascinating too. It highlights the difference between R&B then and R&B now. Now when you talk about R&B, it's most likely an overproduced girl group who are bopping along. But when it was coined, the term R&B meant rhythm and blues. And these days in that sort of music, where's the blues? Think of the early Rolling Stones. That was R&B. A good rhythm, good sound, and very much blues appropriated.
Blues influence, lots of blues influence in there. There's not a lot of blues going on here. There's a lot of R going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but Beyonce is not R&B, no matter what title they want to give her. But that's just my humble opinion.
But that's like on Spotify. I listen to. I'll bring up great indie anthems, and it's sort of like just sort of slightly edgy pop music. To be really honest, it's not.
Excuse me.
It's not really indie. I didn't think. I thought indie was a bit edgier. But anyway, look, the dictionaries, the meaning of words in the dictionary changes over time, mate, doesn't it?
It does indeed, and that's one of the beauties of the English language.
It is indeed, and let's ponder that for a few moments. Yeah. Wow. It's interesting, isn't it?
I'm all pondered out, mate.
I'm pondered.
What about the Eagles?
Oh, fucking massive! Another fucking massive album.
In the last episode, you talked about the Eagles going on tour again.
Yes.
Probably without Glenn Fry.
Probably.
But here we are, 50 years ago. The Eagles were releasing Hotel California. What an awesome album! What a fantastic album!
Just on the tour, is Joe Walsh on the tour? Is he still alive?
I believe so. He's still happily trashing hotel rooms wherever he can.
Fantastic. It's good to see someone keeping up tradition.
Yeah.
Look, I hope he's on the tour. I think every band needs a band member who can barely talk.
And in fact, in 1976, Joe Walsh also released a solo live album with one of the best titles for a concert album that I've ever seen. It's called You Can't Argue with a Sick Mind.
He's another great. He's another user of the voice box thingamabobby.
Inspired by Frampton, of course.
Inspired by Frampton, indeed. And I can't remember what he did with it. But he's got some. He's a great guitarist, really, really good guitarist.
He really added a lot to the Eagles. The Eagles started out as a Southern California Graham Parsons type soft rock, soft country, alternate country.
Yeah.
And Joe Walsh's addition to the band really stiffened them up. Really put not heavy, but a solid rock influence on their sound, and that's nowhere more evident than on Hotel California. Things like Life in the Fast Lane, New Kid in Town, Victim of Love, all of which are terrific songs. There's not a dud song on this album, but the guitar backing and the guitar, the rhythm line on all of the songs on this album is just fantastic. Thanks, Joe Walsh. He actually took, although Fry and Henley were a bit like Jagger and Richards in insisting that they were the songwriters for the band, Joe Walsh did a lot of toughening up of Hotel California. All of the guitar bits. Yeah, it's not a credit. I did this, you did this type thing. But Joe Walsh has been singularly credited with toughening that song up to make it exactly what the song we know and love. With that guitar and guitar solo lines all the way through it.
That's one of those songs you can do play 2 seconds of, and you know what the song is.
Oh, you could be on a dark desert highway and you'd know it.
You would. You would. You'd have to have presence of mind, though, wouldn't you?
You would indeed, just like Led Zeppelin.
Oh, we're good. We're good.
Listen to the links. They're fantastic.
Holy cow.
For those of you who are a bit slow on the uptake, and Jeff's the paroxysms of joy there, we're talking about Led Zeppelin, who this year, 1976, released the album Presence. Now, this is one of their later albums, and it's horrifying to think that 1976, 50 years ago, and we're listening to one of Led Zeppelin's later albums.
I know. It's
makes
weird.
You feel old.
Yeah, and it's one of the albums I didn't really have, and I wasn't really excited by. But
that's right. But go back and listen to it.
Nobody's Fault for Mine is just a fucking great song, isn't it?
It is. And Achilles' Last Stand, I'd have to say that's close to my favourite Zeppelin song.
It's up there. It's up there.
Yeah.
It really is a very good song.
Yeah. Well, that song, it illustrates John Paul Jones's involvement in the band. People say, what did he do? He's not Robert Plant with that squealing banshee voice, and he's not Jimmy Page, with all of his stolen riffs and everything. But John Paul Jones was the glue that brought it all together and put a rhythm line on everything on everything that they recorded.
He's a masterful musician, and highly
fantastic.
Underrated.
Absolutely. So Achilles' Last Stand, it was inspired in part. It was an April morning when they told us we could go. It sort of narrates a bit of a journey, and it was inspired in part by Plant's 1975 car accident. Where he was off his feet, he couldn't walk properly for about a year.
Whoa, really?
And in fact, the song had a working title of The Wheelchair Song.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So beautifully complex bass beat, several complex time changes. A friend of the program, Tim, would listen to this and say, oh, yeah, they're nothing. But for us ordinary bullfeds who, just like a single time reference all the way through a song, there's 3 or 4 major time changes in this album. And this song, rather.
This is a rock album, not a Spanish guitar lesson.
Well, exactly. Heavy Moroccan influence, though, on this song in particular. And Plant and Page later went on to record in Morocco for Unleaded, with a Moroccan band.
And how leaded was their unleaded version? It was I love that album. I love the actual video of it. But there's a lot of lead in the pencil, that album.
Oh yeah. It's for someone to try and claim, as they did when it was first released, that it was Led Zeppelin acoustic. Excuse me. Led Zeppelin acoustic is an oxymoron.
They even, and I can't remember who the drummer was when they do that, but he's behind a perspex screen, so it doesn't make too much noise.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't want that.
No, you would not.
Well, they got enough noise from Bonham while he was around, so
yes, that's right.
You're right. Nobody's Fault But Mine is just an awesome song. For Your Life has got a wonderful juddering Page riff. Candy Store Rock. It was compared in reviews from everything to Buddy Holly to David Bowie. Oh. And it's and Plant, what a whinging curmudgeon Plant's become these days.
Oh.
This is Plant's favourite song from the album, Candy Store Rock, and I love it. It's just great. In all, It's a great album. Some of Zepp's best playing. It's not Led Zeppelin 4, but it's still very, very strong.
We give it a 8 out of 10.
Easily.
Fantastic. What about The Song Remains the Same?
Well, The Song Remains the Same. A live album, so it has failings, but the major failing is that it's a colossal wank for all of the band members. Peter Grant
certainly is. It certainly is. I love it.
Yeah.
So are we talking about the album or the movie?
Well, the album is the soundtrack of the movie, and they can't be separated. Once you've seen the movie, you can't listen to the album without thinking of the dreadful bloody images that they put into this. Each band member had a fantasy sequence. You know, for instance, Bonham's was a bloody night jousting. And I thought, for God's sake, you people, too much cocaine. It's unbelievable.
Bonham was he was a gangster. He was a gangster.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, who was? I don't
and
know
he
who
went.
Night.
And he went in his gangster thing, in his gangster car, which was one of his hot rods, because remember he was into hot rods, he went to this whatever was going down, or something going down, some sort of thing, and he had one of the submachine guns. You remember the submachine guns with the round things on them, so the bullets were in the thing, and he shot everybody's heads off, and all coloured fluid came out of their heads.
Oh yeah.
That was really good, and Robert Plant was just mystical and sort of whimsical, and sort of looking wistfully into the sky and all that sort of stuff. What was Pages? I can't remember what Pages was now. It's a long time ago.
Was that that wasn't the night jousting, was it? It must have been.
I don't remember. All I know is that I saw it 4 times, I think. All
those
stoned.
were the days.
I was stoned the whole time. And
You had to be.
I fucking loved it. I loved it. Loved. No Quarter is just sensational. Love No Quarter. Dazed and confused. I so was.
Now, the visuals wrecked this album for me. Now, having seen the movie, which I thought was absolutely stupid, Plant called it a load of bollocks.
Yeah.
Jones was a little more diplomatic and called it a compromise.
I just loved... When first time I saw it, I loved all that stuff. I didn't really love it later, but I actually have a copy of the movie, and the music is just sensational. The asides with their fantasies in them is bollocks, but it was hilarious.
Sure, but Led Zeppelin live is always great. Led Zeppelin.
Fantastic.
Peter Grant wanted it to be a movie on the big screen because he didn't think that TV at the time had the technical capacity to present Led Zeppelin properly. The sound wasn't...
I think he's right.
The good that we have these days. Yeah, and I think he's right too.
There was no colour TV. Well, not in Australia. Was there colour TV then? Might have been just.
Yeah, only just. It wasn't widespread.
At 76, we still had a timber TV. It was made of wood, big thing with cathode ray tube and all that sort of stuff. No, I would
little black and white. Yeah,
they're fantastic. Loved it. And back and we used to have to travel into the city to see it. Oh God,
absolutely, right in the middle of George Street in the movie theatre strip.
Yeah, it's great. Loved it.
Yes. Did you? That makes one of us.
Oh, loved it. Just so loved it so much. All right, move on. What else we got, mate?
What about the Ramones?
Love the beat on the Brat.
Beat on the Brat with a baseball bat.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Look, it wasn't successful commercially, which is really strange, given that it's been so influential and been cited and still cited today by so many people. And you see young girls wandering around with Ramones T-shirts with the cover of this album on their T-shirt, and I think nobody bought it.
Is that right? Yeah, you said it peaked at 111. Was that the number of songs on it?
I think so, yeah. All 30 seconds each, so it was a double album.
Oh, what a great band they were, though. They were just so in your face.
So much fun, yeah.
Just so much fun.
But like, and they remind me and influenced another loud rock band, Jesus and Mary Chain, who were just, sort of industrial grade noise, but very melodic underneath it.
Right.
The Ramones song, I Want to Be Your Boyfriend. Hey, little girl, I want to be your boyfriend. Very 60s pop, with the with that Ramones underneath it. It's just, I loved it. I thought it was just such a juxtaposition. It was like nothing we'd ever heard before, and it really did influence so much of the punk movement, because not all punk was, spit, gob, that sort of thing. Some of it was
gobbing on you, mate.
Yes, right. Yeah. There was a huge influence on grunge, indie pop, and heavy metal, believe it or not. Rock magazines throughout the world have continually rated this album, so it's a critical darling. I would expect, I've never seen any numbers, but I would expect that in the intervening 50 years, it's probably sold a hell of a lot more albums than it did when it was first released. A bit like the Velvet Underground and Nico. Sold nothing on release, but influential as hell, and sold millions of copies later on. Once people got to know about it.
Yeah. Anyway, good work, boys.
Yep. Just a quick mention, another one issued in 1976 was one we talked about a couple of episodes back in our Bob Dimmery section. Music albums you must listen to. The music from the Penguin Cafe Orchestra. Music from the Penguin Cafe. The Penguin Cafe Orchestra.
Yeah.
Now, what on earth is someone in 1976 producing that? I don't know what. He'd had chemical poisoning from a bad fish.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. He did too in France. Oh God, I couldn't. It's a bit out of my league, I must admit. Sorry, folks.
I loved it. I thought, it's just so challenging and interesting and inviting and a wall of indifference is not the word.
I'll run with indifference.
Yeah, I know you're indifferent to it, but a wall of you've never heard anything like this before. Like a soundtrack, like a movie, almost a David Attenborough type of soundtrack, with you expect to have wonderful visuals to go with it as well. Maybe they should have played this album with the Led Zeppelin song Remains the Same.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting.
It would indeed. Now we can jump onto something proper. One of my favourite albums of the 70s, and certainly one of my favourite of his albums in all, Station to Station by David Bowie.
What a great album. What a great album.
Stunning album. Yeah, absolutely. He subsequently claimed, we talked a year or two back, we talked about Young Americans and the stories then of Bowie holding up recording until the cocaine dealer arrived. This is the end part of that story, in that Bowie claimed he couldn't even remember recording it because he was so off his face on cocaine.
That's amazing.
It's just a wonderful album. Just the title track, which goes for about 11 or 12 minutes, it's just fantastic. It uses Earl Slick was the lead guitar on this album, but Carlos Alomar was a long-standing Bowie guitarist, and he played rhythm on this album. And they used his guitar and feedback to simulate a train travelling on tracks and approaching, station to station, hence. And then the piano and bass began a slow two-note beat leading into the lyrics. And
boom, bottom,
doom, doom,
boom,
boom. Absolutely, just but then Bowie in his newly adopted deeper voice, the return of the thin white Duke. So he introduced a new character.
You've got to be careful. You've got to be careful if you're singing, mate, because sometimes if we put that up on the YouTube, we'll get banned. We'll get a copyright knock on us. So just be careful of that, mate.
Oh, that's right.
Because it just picks up and says, "Oh, that's Bowie."
Yeah, well, yeah. I would say Bowie fans will complain to YouTube, what on earth are you playing that for? But anyway, it introduced the Thin White Duke. The track itself is filmed, and I'm talking about the one song because it was just so good. It was a great song on the album, great when we heard it. It was just mind-blowing when we heard it, and he was able to reproduce it fantastically live. We saw him several times, and this song was always a highlight of his live shows. And he says it's not the side effects of the cocaine.
He doesn't remember making it. How would he know?
Well, no, that's one of the lyrics in the song. It's not the side effects of the cocaine. Anyway, so philosophy references, Kether, Malkuth, Dreams. It's just an absolutely awesome song by anybody, but Bowie, it just stands head and shoulders above anything else that he's ever done. Includes this, including Heroes, which I think is just, again, an absolutely awesome song. Golden Years, which Marilyn Manson covered later on, and TVC 15 about his girlfriend who was swallowed by a TV. Did somebody say cocaine? Consistently good, no filler, exciting, a variety of styles, and it translated perfectly live. Every song from this album was able to be reproduced in its complexity live, and he did a great job with that sort of thing. So,
brilliant. Thank you, David. Very good.
Yep.
Well done.
If you're a young person listening to this and you don't know David Bowie, listen to that album first. Yeah,
it's a ripper. It's a ripper.
It's the most consistent album. Just beautiful. What about Australian? There was some great Australian stuff in 1976.
Oh yeah. What do you got for us?
What about Sherbet? I know you were a Sherbet fan because all the little girls love Sherbet. Yeah.
Big Sherbet fan. I saw Sherbet a
So
couple of
did
times.
I.
I saw them. I saw them at Coffs Harbour.
Wow. For our international listeners, Coffs Harbour is a coastal resort town about midway north between here and Brisbane.
And they're at the Coffs Harbour Civic Centre. And then I almost saw Darryl Braithwaite in the surf the next day when I was out in the water. And someone said, and they said, did you see Darryl Braithwaite? And I said, no, but I was close to him.
Wow. What a brush with fame.
What a great story, isn't it?
Civic Centre was the name most areas had. The council built a hall and called it a Civic Centre and rented it out to anyone who wanted to put on a show. So I saw Sherbet at the Hurstville Civic Centre with, believe it or not, Bo Diddley. Now there's a match made in heaven.
What? Bo Diddley? What were they? Yeah. Were they the support act to Bo Diddley? Were they?
I think Bo Diddley was the support act to Sherbet.
Oh, he was on a down.
Talk about miscarding, misbilling. But there was 3 bands on, and another one. The other band was a band just arrived a couple of days earlier from Adelaide, called Cold Chisel, with Jimmy Barnes with long hair.
Was that right? That would have been interesting.
It was. I thought they were good. They were tight and loud and very rocky. They
would have only had their first
a few times since.
I loved Cold Chisel live. I thought they were great.
Yeah. With the other band members to keep Jimmy Barnes' ego in check, they were great.
Oh, look, he's a much reprised. He's a new man nowadays. He's a new man.
So I hear. Yeah.
He was on MasterChef this year.
Oh yes, I saw that. Yeah. Oh God.
With the missus, they were. Yeah. Getting their produce out or whatever they were doing. I can't remember what they were doing. Anyway, it was good to see them.
Who cares? Yeah, it was good to see them. Howzat, this album, Howzat the single was their biggest single. So this was one of their biggest hits. They, like a lot of Australian bands, they peaked, but then kept on going, trying to crack Europe and the States. They never did that, unfortunately. But they were so tight, they're live. They were really, really good. Maybe it was the satin suits and showing off their not so hairy chests that didn't do it for them in the US. Who knows?
Yeah.
But they were also the beneficiary of a nude photo by a friend of mine, Lewis Morley, of he who did the woman from the Profumo scandal.
Christine Keeley.
Christine Keeley, yes. Yeah. He photoed her nude on a chair, with obviously the chair covering all of the good bits.
Yeah, I remember that. And that's right. They had this photo with one of them have a top hat on or something like that, and they're all in the nud.
I think they were all in the nud with all of their interesting bits strategically covered by.
Because he was renowned for a bit of nudie work, wasn't he?
Oh, he was a bit of a perv on occasions, Lewis.
Yeah.
Not necessarily more for women than blokes, but
fair enough.
Whatever. If that floats your boat.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I remember that. That's fantastic. Good on him.
It was. Yeah, and he never took a photo of AC/DC.
But hold on, before we go any further, before we move on, we've got to remember Darryl went on to become one of the greatest invitees to horse racing events later in his career.
A single called Horses.
And
riding on the horse.
And everybody in Australia loves Darryl Braithwaite's song Horses, which was one of his solo albums in probably in the 90s? No.
Possibly late 80s?
No, late 80s. Late 80s, early 90s. Early 90s. Yep. And that song has legendary status across the racing industry. So it's fantastic. Yep. Fantastic.
And you're right. But the other thing that I didn't mention, we're talking about satin suits and long hair and not so hairy chests. Their fan base was 14-year-old girls.
Yes, indeed.
As the Doors said, the men don't know, but the little girls understand.
Yeah. Okay. Move on, mate.
Move on. How about AC/DC?
How about them?
Now this is complex because AC/DC, just before they made it huge, in fact, before Bon Scott died, they were already making it huge. But in 1975, they released an album called T.N.T., which had obviously the song T.N.T. and a few others on, Long Way to the Top and so on. Their European label picked that album up and said, okay, not strong enough, needs a bit more. So they released it in Europe in 1976 as High Voltage. And it had T.N.T., Long Way to the Top, High Voltage, and Can I Sit Next to You, Girl?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And the delivery of these songs, that blues-influenced loud rock playing, with great solos over the top by Angus, but not Richie Blackmore style solos. Just a lot more restrained, and a lot more fitting to go with the beat that the rest of AC/DC was turning out. I saw them around this time at Daceyville Police Boys Club. There was a local hall in Sydney's eastern suburbs. I didn't know anything about them. I'd never heard of them.
Where the fuck was Daceyville?
Eastern suburbs, just east of
Dacey. Okay.
Dacey, D-A-C-E-Y.
There you go. Okay, so who would have thought you'd see them there, but you did.
But I didn't know. We just happened to be out and went there and I thought, who the hell is this band? They're fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And it was Bon and Angus and the boys really churning out all of these songs. Yeah, Long Way to the Top, High Voltage. Really, really extraordinary. In 1976 also, they released an album called Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, which contained probably their breakthrough single, Jailbreak. It was released in Australia. Jailbreak, yeah. And shot him in the back.
With a bullet in his back.
That's it, yes, exactly. Thank you, yes. Thank you for that lyrical correction there. It was released in Australia and Europe only. It wasn't released in the US until 1991.
Really?
I don't understand the reason for that, but by that stage, AC/DC, were selling out 50 to 100,000 seat, stadia.
Wow.
In the US. Yeah, it's quite extraordinary. But 76 was the year where it all really started to gain pace for AC/DC, where they became the legends that we know of them now.
Fantastic.
And getting 8 foot tall blonde girlfriends.
Get a big tall blonde bird when you're short and ugly.
Yeah. When you're in AC/DC, who cares?
That's all right.
Do you remember another band called Old 55?
Oh, I loved Old 55. Well, at least
Did
once.
you?
No, not at all. Just one song. They were sort of they were really a pub band, weren't they? But they were on Countdown, and they had that one. Oh, they had a couple of songs, yeah. And Frankie J. Holden, wasn't it? Frankie J. Holden.
Absolutely, and Wilbur Wilde on sax.
And the bass player, I think, lived next door to Mark, our old guitarist.
As you do.
Literally. 2 doors down or something like that. But yeah, they were not my cup of tea, but they were a fun band, I guess. They were a fun band. And Frankie J. Holden went on to have a glorious local television career in Australia, didn't he?
Did he? I don't remember anything.
Yeah, he did. He sort of like Sunday, infotainment sort of shows, those sorts of things.
Oh Lord, yeah. Not terribly exciting for us.
No.
For our international listeners who will not have heard of Old 55, picture, if you will, Sha-Na-Na from the Woodstock album and movie.
Got it.
Very, very similar. Very, very much the same vein.
Yeah. Nothing special, but they were quite big in their time for a bit.
Yeah.
Not for too long, but anyway.
Bit of chart success. They had a hit single called "On the Prowl." On the Prowl. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, move on. It's more than they deserve.
Yeah.
Speaking of someone that's more than they deserve, Supernaut. God almighty.
Yeah, I've got that one down there just as a reminder. They're a one-hit wonder, and they had some pretty boys from Perth who had a one-hit single called "I Like It Both Ways."
Johnny like it both ways.
Almost that high, yeah. Now, Johnny is a guy who can't make up his mind because he likes it both ways.
Yeah. Anyway,
produced by Ian Meldrum.
Yeah, Molly Meldrum.
I'm going to put the song on the playlist because it's just so wonderful.
Yeah. Good idea. Very good idea. All right, let's move on to the best of the rest, mate.
The best of the rest, Matt. Do you remember the Alan Parsons project?
I've got iRobot. That's a great album. I like that.
Yeah. Well, this is another album. The first one they released in '76 called Tales of Mystery and Imagination, based on an Edgar Allan Poe book. So he made a practice of issuing albums based on books. But Alan Parsons was a producer who most famously did a lot of work with Pink Floyd
and the Beatles.
And you can well, yes, of course.
He was in the engineering part of the in Apple Studios.
That's
involved with
very good. Yes,
involved with he's actually I've heard him interviewed. He's still got drawings that he did of some of the Apple sessions with the Beatles of where he was putting microphones and all that sort of stuff so that he could go back and recreate it every time he went in there. So he drew where the microphones were and all this sort of stuff for the recording sessions. So there you go. That's a long time ago.
How methodical is he?
Very methodical. He's a methodical man.
He's very methodical. Yeah, good album. I really enjoyed his stuff over the years. A bit like early Yes, I guess might be.
Sort of proggy.
Yes weren't always going on far too long.
But he's probably
prog stuff.
Probably not really not quite in the genre of weird discordant solos and all those sorts of weird and wonderful things.
Yeah, true.
It was more sort of, I don't know. I don't know that I can even describe it. iRobot, similar sort of thing. Anyway, quite good. I like Alan Parsons.
Yeah. Billy Joel released Turnstiles.
Good album.
It's a very good album. One of his later albums include Say Goodbye to Hollywood, and my favourite Billy Joel song, New York State of Mind.
Without doubt, one of his best. Without doubt, one of his best.
Absolutely, it's a terrific song. So
I think this, for me, this is still some of his best material. As he got on, he started producing some of that weird, stupid shit. But this is real, true, great songwriting. And there's some. I mean, he does a lot of other good songs as well. But Turnstiles is one of his best in my book.
Well, I think you're right. And as he went on in his career, he started to sort of turn away from the early stuff that he'd done, which is a shame because it's bloody fantastic. The things on this album, things on Piano Man, and some of his very early albums.
Yeah,
really
50...
good stuff. When he was Billy Martin playing in a bar on piano.
Stranger, I think is one of his
early
ones. And something on 52nd Street. I can't remember what it was on 52nd Street.
Yes,
there was something
50s,
there.
Yeah.
There was something there,
yeah.
I think. I quite good stuff. And if you remember, Say Goodbye to Hollywood has been sung by lots of people, including I think John English. Was it Say Goodbye to Hollywood? Come on, no.
Reg Livermore.
Reg Livermore, that's it. Reg Livermore. Thank you very much. Reg Livermore.
Yeah.
Betty
Again,
Bob,
for our international listeners, Reg Livermore was a more of a theatrical performer. Used to do stage plays and reviews. Best known initially for Rocky Horror Show.
Without doubt, the best.
That made him
best Frankenfurter ever.
Frankenfurter.
Then he did the
Betty Blockbuster.
Betty Blockbuster's Follies.
Yes.
And I can't remember what he did.
And a few other things.
A few others. Yeah. And then he went on and created a magnificent garden in the Blue Mountains.
Oh, and it's just lovely. Is he still alive?
I think he is. I think he now lives in the Southern Highlands.
Oh, down near me.
Yeah.
Drop in and say, "G'day, Reg."
Drop in and say g'day. He'd be getting on a bit, but yeah, he got it.
Would say so. Yeah.
He spent quite a few $1 million on the garden in the Blue Mountains, though.
Well, why not?
Why not indeed?
Yep.
Anyway,
if you got it, spend it. If you got all that money, they won't give you the pension.
You won't. You can't get the pension. That's a bugger.
That's exactly. Now here's one of our favourite bands, ELO.
We did that. We did.
I had inverted commas around favourite and an underlining and says not.
No.
Supremely talented, great poppy songs. Lots of people loved it. Millions of people bought the album. I couldn't stand it.
No,
absolutely
not my
awful.
Cup of tea. Not my cup of tea.
Yeah, precisely.
I saw you got one there. Brian Ferry, Let's Stick Together.
Oh, mate. Well, that's not exactly a solo album. It's almost a remake of a bunch of early Roxy Music stuff. So the songs were fantastic. He's got a right to redo them because he wrote them in the first place. But, Brian, what are you doing? But the single was terrific. Let's Stick Together. Let's Stick Together. An Everly Brothers song.
Yeah, Hard Rain.
And the film clip. Oh, yeah. Oh, where have you been, my blue-eyed son?
And then I guess you can't whinge too much because back in the day when he could sing, so that's helpful.
Well, that's right. And you are, of course, referring to when we saw him at the turn of the millennium at the
entertainment
Sydney
centre,
Entertainment Centre,
where he could not sing.
Yeah, and he had 3 backup singers who carried every high note for him.
Yeah,
which is not an unusual occurrence.
No, it is not. He's not the Lone Ranger, that's for sure. Not the Lone Ranger.
Yeah, and that concert is the one where they started with one of their really old songs called Remake Remodel, and they played it. We were in rhapsody, thinking, "Wow, what a great start to a concert!" And some idiot in the crowd calls out, "Play something good." People need to be killed at birth.
They do. The other thing, it was the first concert I think I went to where nobody sat down, everybody stood up. That's the first time that actually happened to me, when you're in a big stadium and everybody stood up.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's annoying because I really just want to sit down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it lent itself to that.
Yeah, I mean, there's some
great concert, but
it was actually a good concert, despite the fact that his voice was a bit fucked. The rest of the band were there. Manzanera was there. Mackay was there. I don't think Eddie Jobson was there, was he?
No, not Eddie Jobson, but the drummer. Who's the drummer? He was there.
Graham Johns. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
Bill Johns. Anyway, he was there. It was good. It's actually a good. And remember, they had that really sort of quirky light show in the back of the behind. That was actually quite good. I quite enjoyed that.
Exactly.
So overall, not a bad concert. Yeah, not too bad at all.
Not a bad concert, and the band themselves were terrific, nice and tight as you'd expect.
That's right.
It's just, Ferry was suffering the physical effects that affect us all
of smoking too much.
Of smoking too much, yes. So there you go, kiddies. Don't smoke; it's bad for you.
Manzanera didn't. Manzanera is sort of known for making the odd mistake every now and again, but he was pretty good.
Yeah. Speaking of smoking, I think if I can just completely left turn it, they've just released figures that show Australian smoking is down to 5% of the population in 2026.
Wow.
Isn't that when we were teenagers, it was a quarter at least.
Oh, no, more. 30 odd percent. but vaping's sort of kicked in a bit, hasn't it? I think vaping's...
Well, even including those numbers. I mean, vaping's growing, but people don't smoke anymore. 1 in 20. Isn't that extraordinary? Okay, back to music.
Yeah, which is good. I'm going to Japan next week, and I don't think that's quite the same over there. I think people still enjoy a fag over there.
Oh, well, they're allowed to smoke in restaurants and smoke anywhere at all, really. So
yeah,
good luck
I know.
to them.
It's a bit annoying. Anyway, what else you got there, mate?
What about Genesis? We all know that Peter Gabriel left Genesis straight after Lamb Lies Down on Broadway.
They did.
But then they had to struggle to find a singer, and he was right there under their own noses playing the drums. It was Phil.
Oh, Phil.
And so they released Trick of the Tail. Now, Trick of the Tail, not a bad album. I've listened to it. Dance on a Volcano, Squonk, the title song itself. Lovely playing because they're absolutely consummate musicians in Genesis, which makes it all the more heartbreaking the way they went later on. But nonetheless, I thought it was a very good album. I thought probably because it was like the momentum of the Gabriel style that they had.
That's right.
Yeah, we continued on. They changed it to become sort of 3-minute pop songs later on, which was boring as hell for me. But this Trick of the Tail, it turned out over the years to not have the life of something like Lamb Lies Down on Broadway or Foxtrot or Selling England by the Pound, but it's still a very good album, very fine album. And if you're not a Peter Gabriel tragic like me, have a listen to it. I think you'll like it. There'll be a song on the playlist from it. Yeah,
pretty good album. But yeah, it's sort of it's funny, isn't it, that the driving force of Gabriel, who then later also became a little bit sort of commercial as well. But anyway, I think Genesis probably out commercialised him in mediocre songs, right?
It certainly did, yeah. And it's a bit of a shame, but that's just our opinion, and obviously millions of record-buying individuals disagree completely.
Now I'm going to take
the wonder of democracy.
I'm going to take the next one for those who are guitarists around the world. Jeff Beck Wide was a absolute revelation. This album was different. Blow by Blow was before this, so very guitar driven, very like a Jeff Beck guitar driven album. What's different with this album was the introduction of Jan Hammer from Mahavishnu's Orchestra. So you've got some amazing songs, really upbeat, really, really inventive songs. But you've also got the guitar playing and soloing by Jan Hammer, who we saw live, and he was really into it. It was a really, really enjoyable concert because Jan Hammer and Jeff Beck were playing off each other, with Jan Hammer up there with the keyboard around the neck, and I don't know what they're called, neck keyboards, whatever they're called.
That's as good a name as any.
Shoulder keyboards, but they were riffing around together, so it was really good. So yeah, this is a great album. There's some fantastic songs on there. Goodbye Pork Pie Pat, Goodbye Pork Pie Hat, I beg your pardon. Lead Boots, really strong, forceful bass, really high energy, and then some of his more introspective songs like he has on all his albums. So yeah, Jeff. Great album, loved it, and even got some chart success, which is a bit unusual for poor old Jeff, I think.
Yeah, he's certainly regarded as one of the legends of rock guitar, and he appears next to his mate Clapton, and they both appeared in the Yardbirds at various times.
The thing that's funny is like he was still out touring when he carked it. he just boom, dead, it just dead of death. Anyway, that was this. Good way to go. A good way to go. He was happy. Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah, fantastic.
Now, one of the things that we were talking when we were originally planning this episode was how many old bands are releasing albums today.
New albums.
Yeah, and I think that what we're going to do is we're going to pick up that content and make it an episode, and we're going to call it Too Old to Rock and Roll, Too Young to Die, which also happens to be the title of Jethro Tull's 1976 album.
Too old to rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Oh. Anyway. Oh, geez. Another bloody copyright got for us.
Yeah, they'll think we've got Ian Anderson in the studio here.
Damn. There's people on the internet, I don't know whether you've seen them, who they call it like it'll be a classical composer reacts to John Anderson playing the flute and those sorts of things. So they're all over the place. So I actually follow a couple of them, and I've seen a classical flautist comments on Ian Anderson's flute playing. And she's there listening to it and going, oh, that's all very nice. Because he was, if you remember, he was actually quite late in life he took up the flute. So he wasn't like a 5-year-old. He did it when he was like 14, 15, something like that. And, he's quite a good flute player, but he's also got these things where he grunts through the flute and all this sorts of stuff. And she's there. She normally is a classical flute player, and she's hearing she nearly shits herself, oddly enough. But yes, if you ever get, I should put a link to in the show notes of people. A classical flautist responds to Ian Anderson. I'll find it and give it to you.
Why not?
What did you think about the album, though? Just out of interest.
I thought the album was really good. I love all of Tull's early 70s stuff. I mean, Aqualung, Passion Play, Thick as a Brick. He does go on a bit sometimes, Mr.
Sure,
Anderson.
He does.
He's got total self-confidence, and sometimes that goes a bit too far. But overall, the combination of him and Martin Barr is just unbeatable.
Listening to him talk recently, when I say recently, a couple of years ago now, he is a bit up himself, oddly enough.
Yeah.
A little bit up himself.
Yeah, which is a bit of a shame, and that's why Martin Barr finally left. But he couldn't really complain. He'd been with Anderson for 50 years, so
yeah.
They finally got on each other's nerves.
Enough.
It took a bit of time. To do it.
Yeah.
Now, what about Linda Ronstadt?
Oh, well, we've done a show on Linda Ronstadt. What was her album she had in 76?
Hasten Down the Wind.
Favourite song of mine.
Yeah. Just before Simple Dreams. And it's the Warren song. And Warren Zevon also released Warren Zevon in 1976. So his album, with that song on it, and the cover of that song on Linda Ronstadt's album, were both vying for attention. Now, unfortunately, Zevon didn't get the attention.
No.
As we've discussed a number of times, and people say, you talk about Rod Stewart, you never stop bloody mentioning Warren Zevon. And that's true, and it's fair.
True.
It's because he's great. But both of those albums are 1976, and it's got the song Hasten Down the Wind, which is just absolutely beautiful. He's a wonderful wordsmith.
Yeah, he is.
And Linda Ronstadt treated his songs with total respect. She didn't put in any crap. She took them as he'd written them and just applied her voice to them, and it was just wonderful.
And she made a couple of bucks out of them too, just quietly.
Good luck to you, Linda.
Well done, love.
It's wonderful. Yeah. Now, speaking of people with beautiful, mellifluous voices, what about Lou Reed? Yeah. See, like I said at the start of the last episode, 1976, this album list seems to be a list of our episodes. And we've done a couple of episodes. We've done a couple of episodes on Lou Reed as well.
Yep.
And because I've been known to like his work on occasion, and Coney Island Baby is no different. It came straight after Metal Machine Music.
What the fuck was that?
Well, he did it basically as a screw you.
Yeah, I know.
To the record industry, you want me to keep producing hits, cop this.
Yeah.
So then he released Coney Island Baby, which is, for him, remarkably sensitive album. He reflects on his childhood, where he wanted to play football for the coach. He wasn't renowned as a sports star at all, not with any sort of sporting inclinations at all. But the song is about that. It contrasts his street persona, straight out of Velvet Underground, against this wistful little song, I just want to play football for the coach. And, but delivered in his deadpan street Lou Reed drawl.
Yeah.
Crazy Feeling, really, really nice song. I think I'll put the song Coney Island Baby onto the playlist.
Sure.
Yeah. And again, this is not the standout Lou Reed album. We've talked a couple of episodes about his or their standout albums. This is just another great example of his craft and the type of material that he's able to produce.
Yes, thank you, Lou.
Yeah. What about Queen? This is part of their Marx Brothers suite, if you like. And A Night at the Opera was followed by A Day at the Races. With thanks Groucho for the titles.
Yeah,
we appreciate that. A Day at the Races rather really carries on with A Night at the Opera. The same sort of theme. In fact, it got some criticism that it was more of the same. I thought, bloody hell, if you've got such an excellent sound, why not do more of the same? It's
more of that. I'll take more of that. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Somebody to Love, which really illustrates how good a voice Freddie Mercury did have.
Yeah.
That the way he climbs to and sustains those high notes, it's just absolutely extraordinary.
Yeah, no, he's a great singer.
Yeah. And Tie Your Mother Down,
Brilliant.
Which was a fantastic song live. Really, really good live.
Really good album. Really good song.
So it's a great album. Produced by the band. The first Queen album not produced by Roy Thomas Baker.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, it's a solid album. I feel that after Night at the Opera, everything's going to be downhill almost after that album. With one of the most iconic songs in rock history, So
absolutely,
you're going to always find it tough. But Tie Your Mother Down is a pretty good attempt to get back up there, mate.
Yeah. I think so. I think they were never going to be able to come out a winner comparing themselves to Night at the Opera.
No.
Yeah, which it was just an awesome album too.
Yeah.
What about Rod Stewart?
Oh, thank God.
Is there obligatory? Yeah, I know you were worried we were not going to have an obligatory Rod Stewart moment.
Thank fucking God that we are here with Dear Rod. 1976.
Who'd have thought it?
Has this got Maggie May on it, this one, or is it different?
Apparently he wrote other songs. Did other songs.
What's on this one, mate? What is this one?
What is this strange thing?
What is
look, this album marks the turning point where he stopped being, Rod the Mod, doing, sort of rock and blues, Faces style songs, to becoming more of a cross-Atlantic, or Atlantic Crossing was the first album where he did that. Then this, A Night on the Town, where he starts producing radio-friendly songs.
I like that he's a cross-Atlantic star.
Oh,
he's cross-Atlantic. It's great.
Yeah, well, that's actually a phenomenon. People drop their accents. Yeah, because he did have a lot more of an accent back then. Being a Scot, and loving playing soccer and everything, and breaking people's nose in the audience.
Yes.
Yeah, but this marks the time when he's changing Rod the Mod, the rocker, to Rod the all generation star who can play big venues with staples. And
I think, from my recollection, the probably the standout was The First Cut Is the Deepest. What a great rendition from Brat there, with his husky old voice churning out.
The first cut is the deepest.
Churning out a classic Cat Stevens number. Fantastic stuff. And
I think so. And even
And Tonight's the Night. Oh, it was. It's going to be all right.
Killing of Georgie is quite a nice song too. It's about a gay murder in I forget where, but it was one of those narrative songs that that tells the story, which the word narrative tends to give that away. But a really, really good song. I mean, I know we make fun of Rod on occasion, but there's some really nice stuff on this album. The fact that he went downhill later, irrelevant. Good. Somebody's got to pay for his train sets.
Look, to get to number 2 on the US billboards is no mean feat.
Indeed.
It's not number 1, but it is number 2, and that's a lot of sales of records. And so, Helped by his first castle, I dare say.
Yep.
We're going to have to. We're going to have to. We're going to have to finish up soon. So, what do you want to highlight out of what's left?
Well, Steely Dan, it's like almost every year or every second year they have an album in the list that's always going to be full of fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
76 saw The Royal Scam with a really intricate, almost Escher-like cover. And I love that. But it's got Kid Charlemagne on it,
yes,
which is just
sensational,
a spectacular song, sensational song. The playlist for this album, for these two episodes, is going to be fantastic. And yeah, Kid Charlemagne in general, very, very good. You know, with them straining, is there gas in the car? Yes, there's gas in the car.
And Larry Carlton on guitar, fucking awesome guitar player.
Awesome, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I like Royal Scam as well. It's a great song too.
It is. It's very difficult to find duds on any Steely Dan album. They were just so fantastic. And their standards were so high and their selection for great musicians.
Yeah, that's right.
Just awe-inspiring.
Skill,
Awe-inspiring.
a great skill.
Steve
Miller Band.
Steve Miller, Fly Like an Eagle. Yep.
Was there any other songs on there? On that album?
Oh, yeah. Rockin' Me. Yeah. Keep on a rockin' me.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that one. Yeah. Take the money. Come on, take the money. I was never a fan of Steve Miller Band because they all sort of sounded like I've heard them before.
I think you're right, yeah. I like it. I hear any one of those songs and I like it, but it hasn't. In fact, I did buy this album. So, so what would I know?
What would you know?
Yeah, what would I know? But yeah, I did get to feel that way about Steve Miller. I thought, he's renowned for a blues background, but I never heard that in any of his songs. I thought, yeah, it's all right. He's nice.
Yeah, nothing special, but yeah, certainly very, very famous. One that I just want to mention quickly is
of course,
Wings Over America. Now, I know this is a live album. It was a triple album, one of the great triple albums of our time, which I had. I had this album. And the best part about it, from my point of view, was the cover. I'd loved the cover, really good cover. And
tell us about that.
And the thing I really loved was some of their film. I can't remember what songs they had on their film clip. There was a couple of songs that were singles, and the film clip had the lorries, the trucks taking the gear across America, and they had 3 40-foot trucks, and it's on the top. It said Wings Across America. I loved that. I thought that was really good.
Awesome.
It was a huge concert tour, and that this was just a vehicle to make lots of money. But there's a couple of good songs on it. There's a lot of fill and shit on there as well because it's a triple album. But there's some good stuff on there. But maybe I'm amazed. Silly love songs I really don't like. Jet, Live and Let Die, and a few Beatles songs. But yeah, it's an epic album, and I had it, and it was just it was a really, really good cover. Anyway,
yeah, look, it was a good album. It could have done with some judicious trimming down. It would have been a very fine double album.
I think so. I think it was a much better double album than it was a triple album. Mind you, that's the same for just about every triple album that ever was made. So
exactly right. Now, let's finish with a band that never made a triple album.
Yep.
But they sold a few.
Yep.
ABBA.
Oh.
Here we go. Now, we've talked about Lou Reed and Pavlov's Dog and Warren Zevon, and we finish on ABBA. What is wrong with the world?
Dear old ABBA.
Money, 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 money.
They had arrived, indeed.
And you are the dancing queen. That song was a song about you, Jeff.
That's me. That's me, the dancing queen. And I wished I had some money, money, money. They were just like a fucking hit-making machine, weren't they? Just an utter hit-making machine. And just insanely amazing music. Not really our cup of tea per se, but you have to recognise the skill and the expertise of this band to be so on the top for so long. just amazing. Just amazing.
Absolutely, yeah. And the amount of albums that they sold for that reason.
Yeah, great band, a good one to finish on, Mick. What a rollicking road. What?
Rollicking Road, I like it.
Yeah, Mick, a really good album to finish on, and what a rollicking journey we have had through the wonders of 1976. We could probably do another 10 shows on 1976, but we're not going to, because I think we've done our fill. And we will say thank you, everybody, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.
Well, folks, that's a wrap. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you're enjoying this, tell your friends about us. Send us feedback at mickandthefatman@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. That's it, folks!